Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Well, last Tuesday night, the Kearsarge Cougars boys basketball team traveled to take on the Stevens Cardinals right here in Claremont. This was a much anticipated season opener for both teams. So without further ado, let's check out who was able to start the season off with a win. This game was a battle. Many coaches pegged the Cougars and Cardinals to be ranked in the top 5 come playoff time, so a competitive game was expected. Kearsarge managed to take advantage of a friendly tip and won the opening possession. After a few turnovers from both sides, Kearsarge scored the first 2 points off an impressive spin move from Tom Johnson. But the Cardinals were ready, as they would then go on an 11-point run, with Nick O'Brien, Noah Spalding, and Zach O'Brien all scoring. But Kearsarge fought back to make it a 3-point game at 13-10, with their star players, 6'7" Taylor Matos and arguably the best shooter in the league, Tom Johnson, scoring the majority of the Cougars' points. This became a bit of a theme, as Stevens came out of every quarter firing on all cylinders, but Kearsarge would manage to claw its way back into the game again and again. By halftime, Stevens held a 36-28 lead over Kearsarge. In the second half, both teams' offenses were still playing at very high levels, but the Cardinals' lead would end up being too much to overcome. Despite Cougars' Matos scoring 35 points and Johnson scoring 22, Kearsarge did manage to cut the lead to just 6 at the start of the fourth. But Stevens' offense kept on scoring, as the Cardinals went on to win by a final score of 71-66. After the game, we spoke with Stevens' head coach as well as Spalding and Zach O'Brien to see how they felt about their season opening win.
Yeah, so obviously it's early in the season to have a test like that with Kearsarge. It's good, 2 reasons. You go out and you find out where you are. But it's also, we have a long preseason. It's good to get live action, and they get rewarded for all the good things they've been doing in a preseason. For us, it was a win-win. Kearsarge is an unbelievable team. There's a reason a lot of people rank them preseason first. The size is tough to deal with, and Tommy, maybe one of the best players, certainly the best shooter that we'll see. We knew where their points were going to come from, which helped us defensively, and I think we do some things differently than other teams as we allow them to play there. We didn't really help a whole lot. We said if the points are going to come from there, that's fine. We're going to go down the other end and try to do it with 5 people. So that was the game plan defensively. I thought we won a lot of the 50-50 type of plays, which are important. And you know, I'm just proud of the kids because they went out and did exactly what I asked of them. And usually you don't see that till mid-season, if you're lucky, maybe by playoffs. So happy with the win.
Going into this, we knew it was going to be tough. They returned 2 very good players. We knew it was going to be a playoff game. They went to the championship last year, beat a good team in Conant. I don't know, we knew it was going to be tough. It was going to be a good one. I'm going to give it to my teammates. We got a new offense this year. We stuck to it the whole game. Anybody can score out of it. They just, I beat my guy and they found me going to the hoop often. I was just lucky enough to finish over 6'7" Matos. Parker Smith, I'll give a shout out to him. He's used to being the bread and butter. He's used to scoring all the points. It's his team. I respect him for kind of giving me a little room tonight and let me do what I do.
It was a great game, actually. We knew that we had a very good team coming into the break, and our homecoming game, our first game since of the first year, we had to come out strong. We worked as a team. It was back and forth, but at the end of the day, we were just able to pull through together. Noah really stood out today, playing on both sides of the ball, guarding arguably one of the best players out of the division in Tommy. Offensively, drove, dished, did everything. We also had Henry Bork, who's a sophomore, come off the bench, played some great defense, made some easy bunnies, dished it off, so those are a couple good players today. We definitely have to work on boxing out and rebounding. Granted, they have some people with height on their team, but that doesn't mean we can't box out and grab some extra boards. But other than that, I think that we played pretty good for our first game of the year.
Stevens will next look to add another win against Guilford, while Kearsarge next travels to face off against the Newport Tigers. Noah Spalding led the scoring for the Cardinals with 25 points, while Zach O'Brien scored 13 and Parker Smith put in another 11. These 2 teams will face off again on February 14th, but this time it will be on the Cougars' home court. You won't want to miss it. Well, that's going to do it for this week's YCN Sports Wrap. Be sure to tune in next week when we'll be featuring the girls from Stevens and Kearsarge, as well as the ladies from Lebanon and Hanover. As always, I'm your host, Andrew Zerhide. Be sure to stay warm and have a great week, everyone.